So thank you for doing the interview, taking your time to do the interview with me. You'd like to introduce yourself?
My name is Daniella Johnson, better known as the Tatted Cat. I own Tatted Cat Customs here in Charleston, South Carolina.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about your work on this Hellcat right here?
So this is a 22 Hellcat. The customer had been a follower of mine for several years and bought the car, brought it to me once I had opened my shop, and had an idea for the color that he wanted, but he didn't know what else he wanted. So had a color to start with, and yeah, the way I work whenever it comes to these designs is I let the vehicle speak to me as I am laying my tape down, you know, just filling her out, seeing what she wants done to her, and yeah, this is what I ended up coming up with.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, so I've got close to 700 hours in the paint work alone.
Wow.
Going into the door jambs, under the hood, doing the hand-laid gold leaf, and yeah, this was my very first show car. And found out that Segola wanted to use it for SEMA 2023, and so I had to kick it up a notch because I knew what I had to present, you know, on a stage of that magnitude.
Gotcha.
And yeah, she did extremely, extremely well. I'm very happy. This is my legacy.
You did extremely well.
Thank you. This is the only custom job that I've done in my career that I can actually say I wouldn't change anything about it.
Me either. I wouldn't change anything about it either.
I wanted to keep that classic Mopar feel about it, but put my twist on it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And how long have you been in the business? How long have you been doing this?
So I actually have done this all my life. I grew up in my dad's shop. I started my career, my professional career, in '93.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for 31 years now.
Wow. Wow.
Yep. Most people don't realize that. So.
Okay. And your dad got you into the cars?
He did. My dad's always been into cars. You know, he's probably had every muscle car you could think of. And yeah, I was always in the shop with him, always in the way, always interested. You know, I've always been an artist first, so art's always been my love. And it just matches really well, you know, with a canvas like this. So yeah, I grew up in it. It's all I've ever done. It's all I've ever wanted to do.
Just in your DNA, pretty much.
It is. I tell people right now, you know, my blood is probably more isocyanates than it is anything else. So.
You want to show us anything else you're working on at the moment, or?
Yeah, like right behind you here, we have a 1996 TJ Wrangler. The gentleman sent this down from Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
It was just a stock blue TJ. He had called me up, said, hey, I've got my Jeep. I bought it for my dog. You know, how much would it cost me to get a Tatted Cat Custom job? And I asked him if he had any ideas. He didn't have no ideas. So he sent it to me and told me to do my thing. So what I ended up doing was mocking it after a P-51 Mustang.
Oh, okay.
So that's where the design comes from. And yeah, it's all hand painted. I did all the weathering, everything, and went with a satin finish. And yeah, I think it came out beautiful.
That's sick. That's crazy. Detail in it.
Thank you. Yeah, most people, I let them know that I don't necessarily have a style. I do what the vehicle wants me to do to it. So, you know, you bring me something. I have 5 cars here that you set them all side by side. None of them are the same.
Totally different. Got you.
None. I mean, if I had a style that was mine, it would be what the Hellcat is.
The Hellcat?
Yeah. So. And then right behind that is a 67 Corvette. This is a resto mod done by Southeast Corvettes here in Charleston. And this has a LT4. It's a 10-speed resto mod. And we're getting this one ready to go to Mecum in 2025.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's big.
It is.
Big.
I'm super excited.
That's big.
And I've got one more actually coming after this one's done. That'll go to it's a 67 convertible.
Wow.
So,
And it's a beautiful color too.
thank you. Before we head over to the main shop where I do all my work, this is my 2014 Mustang convertible. She's just a V6, but she's my everyday driver. And this is just another example of I'm not in a box with a style. This is completely different than the Hellcat, completely different from the Jeep. You know, just she speaks to me. This is what she got. And she's a bit dirty.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So how did you come up with this design? You felt it, or?
So, whenever I originally had painted her, she had a more aggressive paint job. It was the ZBR Hypershift, like the Challenger, and had racing stripes. And the next thing, you know, the next time that I painted it, I wanted to do more of a 90s feel, you know, graphics. And so it's kind of 90s my way. And this is what I'd come up with, using Hypershifts. I'm really good with color theory. So, you know, every color complements the next.
The next color.
Yeah. So that's just a combination of painted custom graphics and bed liner.
Wow.
So this is the main part of my shop. This is my cat cave, so it's a little bit messy. I just picked up BASF as a sponsor, so I've got a lot of stuff just kind of strode about, trying to get everything straightened up and comfortable. This is just where I come and chill whenever I'm taking a break or, you know, the end of the day, just winding down. Just a really comfortable spot.
Did you paint this border also?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah, I do skateboard decks, softball bats, those couple of paintings over there, those are my watercolor paintings that I've done. Those are my pandemic paintings. I did those and I did these two on this wall. And I did several more, but they all got sold, so.
Wow.
This is going to be the main part of the shop where I do all my work. You can see I've got the rest of the Corvette parts over here, getting ready to be wet sand and polished. This is my buddy's 2005 Sierra. This truck was in Street Truck magazine in the early 2000s. Wow. He had gotten it painted, didn't like the paint job, so he just hid it away for years. And finally, I talked him into letting me redo her and bring her back to life. So I've had this truck for a long time. There's been a lot of work that's gone into it. So she's coming right along though.
Okay.
This is going to be my next Challenger. This is going to be the one that's going to kind of be the same style, same feel. This is a 85 C10. It belongs to a gentleman that lives in Georgia. He found out about me and brought it to me. Didn't really have an idea, like everybody else, of what he really wanted. So I told him, I was like, trust me, let me do my thing. And yeah, so it's here. This one is going to go to SEMA. It's also going to be at Barrett-Jackson next year. Well, either next year or 26. And this is a frame-off restoration. The chassis is fixing to go and get powder coated. It's getting all new suspension, wheels, tires. I mean, it's getting the works.
The whole nine.
It's getting a 1,500 horse powertrain that's going to go in it. So, and I'll show you the bed.
It's a beautiful color.
It really is. So this is called Cognac. It is a custom color that we started with almost a red candy and did it over black. Did a bunch of different variances, made it more red, made it more gold, and I landed on this one because it's just gorgeous.
It
so
is.
You're not going to see this color anywhere else. And if you come this way, I got the bed for the C10. This is what I did for the customer to show him my idea for my design for it. So I went ahead and finished the tubs out, and the graphics that you see on the tubs are what I'm going to do on the side of the bed. So you've got a satin pearl in the center with a Louis Vuitton type design. With that, it almost looks like the gloss clear pinstripe and the gloss clear paint almost looks like an overlay that sits on top of it with a copper leaf hand laid stripe.
That's beautiful. I loved it. That's nice.
Thank you.
Wow.
So she's a little dusty right now being back here, but yeah, this is going to be next level for my shop. It really is. This is the one that's going to cement me, I believe, into letting people know I'm not just a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
And I do it all out of my 24-year-old cross-strap boot. Nothing special. Got some frame parts in there. These are the frame stiffeners for the C10. Just getting them ready to go on. So yeah, this is my little slice of heaven. So this is my mixing system. This is my dream mixing system. I got blessed enough to pick up BASF as a sponsor. Danny Richardson, who works for BASF, I talked to him at SEMA, even though I've known him for years. And last year at SEMA, we talked, and I told him, I've got my shop going. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get BASF in there, and he really pushed to get it in here. And dude, it blows my mind every time that I look, because I've got all my specialty pearls, I got all my candy dyes, and with this system, there's not much that I can't mix. And yeah, I picked up Paint Huffer Metal Flake for all my specialty colors that I can't mix here, and yeah, I mean, it's a perfect setup, and yeah, I just feel, I don't know, I feel giddy. I feel like a kid in a candy store whenever I walk in the shop. So.
That's big though, getting them to sponsor you. That's big.
It's massive. It really is, my dream setup, my dream, team up. So.
I didn't ask you this before. What's your favorite? If you had to pick a favorite paint job to do, you have a favorite paint job to do, or?
My favorite paint job to do is the one that comes in and the customer says, this is kind of the idea that I have. This is the color that I kind of want, but I really don't know what I want. That's the ones that I like. The ones where I can really be creative, let the vehicle speak to me, and it's a piece of rolling art. It's automotive art.
It is.
It's not just a paint job. So yeah, whenever I get to be creative, that is my favorite paint jobs.
Okay. Pick your top 3 or top 5 favorite cars or dream trucks. What would it be?
Okay, so my top 3 is easy. It would be a 67 Shelby GT Resto Mod.
Okay.
It would be a 2014 Super Snake, or it would be a 2024 Dark Horse. Those are my top. I am a Mustang girl. I love Mustangs. I don't care what anybody says.
I love Mustangs too.
Just,
right along with you.
So yeah, those are my top 3 dream cars.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And would you like to shout out your Instagram or your social media?
Yeah, so everybody can find me on my Instagram, which is Tatted Cat, or you can find me on my Facebook business page. That's where, if you message me, you're more likely to get a response back, and that is Tatted Cat Customs, Custom Creations. I'm also on TikTok, and yeah, I think that's about it. So, fixing to start a YouTube channel. But that's in the works now.
Yeah, I definitely need to start a YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think because a lot of people have been asking for it. I'm just trying to find time to do it.
But, I can understand that. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to do an interview with me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.